Hello again. Today's crafts feature the Old Testament reading for the first week of Advent, which is all about Isaiah chapter 64. And in this passage, there are a couple of things we're going to highlight. One of them is how we call upon God's name and hope for him to come again and to help his people. The other element talks about how God is the potter and we are the clay in his hands. So today, we're going to make a fun calling instrument as well as some clay. Well, Play-doh, sort of. But anyways, let's get right to work. So we're going to start with our trumpet. This is our calling to God trumpet. And we're going to use a paper towel tube. You could also use a toilet paper tube if you like, or another kind of skinny tube-ish thing. And you can use, to make the trumpet part, some paper, or you can do a styrofoam cup or a cupcake holder or cupcake wrapper. That's what we call these things. Anyways, I'm going to use the cup because I think it just kind of fits the best and makes it look the most sort of kind of trumpet-y-ish. But use whatever you would like. So we're going to start off with my cup. I'm going to cut the bottom out here. There we go. And now hopefully it will more or less fit on top of my tube, but I can still make noise out of it. So now I'm going to tape these together. You could glue. I don't really recommend it because it's not going to be as sticky. Even tape on materials like this gets a little bit tricky, but it'll work. It'll hold. Really, it'll hold. And then we're going to add lots of fun decorations. So we're going to do tape all the way around there. If you want to reinforce it, you could also do some tape around the sides there. I'm going to actually do a streamer around the side for one of my fun decorative pieces. So I'm going to kind of drape this guy and tape this guy. And then we're going to, here we go. We're going to add some stickers, some captions. There we are. So I'm going to actually get this to go on both sides. And that just adds a little more flair and flavor to things. And now I'm going to write my caption. So this will remind us of why we're making this random trumpet thing. We're going to say, call on the name of the Lord. Isaiah 64. And we'll tape that to the side of my little horn so I know what I'm doing. And we're going to make some more little fun decorations here. So we're going to throw on some stickers, and if you like, you can use some markers to make it kind of musical-ish themed. Or add some crosses. Lots of options here. And then after you've got it all nice and decorated, of course I'm going to just do one side for you right now, but please feel free to decorate the entire thing. Then you have your horn. Kind of a megaphone slash trumpet to call on the name of the Lord. So that is our fun craft number one. Craft number 2 is also going to be pretty fun, but it's going to involve kind of some almost cooking science here. So I'm going to actually start by making my caption so I don't forget. And this is going to go bloop, 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 onto a bag. So we'll say clay in the hands of the potter. Trust God. And I'm going to tape this onto my bag here. You don't have to do this part. It's just kind of some extra fun. You can even put some stickers and decorations on your bag if you so choose. Or just write your name on it. So that's my bag. Set that aside for later. We're back. Now, this is the fun part. So we're going to start off with my wet ingredients for my Play-doh. That's going to consist of 1 cup of water and 2 teaspoons of oil. Ideally, you want vegetable oil. We're going to be honest, this is actually olive oil. It will still work. It's just not what you need necessarily. Dun, 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 dun. Do, 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 do. There we go. All right, and at this point, another option is you can add some food coloring. I'm gonna just leave mine plain and make it white, but you are welcome to add food coloring to this at this point if you like. Then I'm also gonna add 1 cup of salt, which I realize is not liquid, but we're gonna add it at this point. And that's not a mistake, 1 cup of salt. 1 whole cup. It is a lot of salt, but that's okay. That's how we do this. So, woo! Or you can also spill it all over the place. That works too. All right, now I'm going to mix these guys all together. La 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 la. Do 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 do. A little more salt. I'm just gonna get all of that out of there. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to mix these together. Da, 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 da. To which we will add, once it's kind of all together, you don't necessarily have to worry about the salt dissolving. Some recipes will actually have you cook ingredients for homemade Play-doh. This is a no cooking involved recipe, which makes it handy. But we're going to get that stirred. Then we're going to add 3 cups of flour. Just regular old baking flour will do. It doesn't have to be anything fancy like cake flour or bread flour. I mean, unless you want to eat this stuff and you need gluten-free flour or something. But it doesn't taste very good, so I wouldn't really recommend eating it. You can. It won't hurt you, but it's not that great. All right, 1, 2, and here comes cup number 3. Now I'm used to thinking, okay, how much do I need to add for altitude? But this isn't baking, it's just Play-doh. So 3 cups of flour, final ingredient, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So we're going to mix this all together. 1 tablespoon. Boop. 2 tablespoons. Bloop. Okay. Now, mix it all up. And what you should get, again, we can make this colorful, or you can make it all natural Play-doh. I mean, it's almost like organic or something, I don't know. And should start to get nice and thick and gelled together pretty quickly here, as you can see. And there we go. All right, so once it gets to this stage of things, after you stir it for a little while, you can dig your hand in there and start to finish up that mixing process manually. There will be flour everywhere, yes, and that's okay. That's how this works. So, once again, in fact, you may need to add a teeny bit more water or oil, or just to use a little bit less flour. This is a little on the dry side, so I'm just going to add a little more flour and mix it together until you have a nice cohesive ball of dough. And this will keep for a good little while. You will want to seal it up, so you'll put it in a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware container or something like that. But once you've got it together, it's almost kind of like a bread dough or a cookie dough in consistency. And you have this lovely, magical, wonderful blob of dough. Ta-da! So here's our clay to be in the hands of the potter. And my hands are very full of dough. So there we go. But this does wash very easily, or I mean, it washes off very easily. It's not going to be super sticky. It is going to be moldable. Again, you might need to use a little more in the way of oil, a little less in the way of flour, but more or less 3 cups-ish flour, 1 cup of water, 1 cup of salt, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil, and dye if you wish. If you want to get real exciting, you could also throw in some glitter. But again, glitter is not for the faint-hearted. So enjoy. You can mold it. You can shape it. You can bake it, I guess, if you wanted to. But hopefully a fun, and especially for Christmas time, kind of festive thing if you make this red or green, or pretend like you're making Christmas cookies. But the idea is that we talk about how simple things like clay can turn into a masterpiece, and how we are the clay in the hands of God, the master potter. So enjoy. Hopefully this is a fun activity and craft. It's a craftivity for you, and a blessing to your ministry wherever and with whomever that might be. Now, go make some dough, make some crafts, make some disciples. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.